Hello and welcome to my channel. Inviting possibilities. My name is Rochelle and this is Charlie. And I'm here to do the weekly reading for the collective. For all signs. You gonna get down? There you go. Okay. Ah, blessed by the kitty power. um, yeah, where was I? Weekly reading. Jojo is here in Rest Mojo too. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks to all of you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I'm yeah, I'm tapping into the energies for the week. Whenever you catch this, it's for the coming week for you. And yeah, I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna use the Kipper deck and then use some other decks. So let's see what we got going on for us this week. Marriage, number 3. Okay. Journey, number 10. Well, yeah, marriage is a journey, isn't it? If you've ever done that kind of thing, you know. Child, 18. Wow. Wow. Okay. Having a child perhaps after getting married? Concern, 33. And courtship, number 4. Interesting how we started with 3 and we ended with 4. Interesting that in this deck, 3 is marriage, but 4 is courtship. You'd think it'd be the other way around. At least that's how my brain works. I mean, yeah, there could be a literal getting married, going on a honeymoon, getting pregnant, having a child. The concern and the courtship. Not totally sure about that. I mean, it could span like a huge amount of time. And it's like the child grows up and is now, starting to, of age to start to have romantic encounters of their own. There's concern, the dad, he's grown. He's like, I don't know about my child dating. I don't like that. However, this doesn't have to be literal. Marriage can be any kind of merger, coming together with another person, even businesses. Whatever kind of merger this is, it is a journey. It's moving to a new realm in some way, even if it's an internal thing. There's a lot to be learned in a marriage, romantic or otherwise, because you're now combining your energy with somebody else. You're creating a new dynamic. And child can speak to a new beginning, to kind of an innocent childlike way of approaching a situation, feeling excited for the journey ahead and not thinking too much about the pitfalls, the obstacles, the detours, just kind of being excited for the adventure. But then with the concern, it's like maybe there's somebody who's watching this happen, this merger, this journey, this kind of childlike excitement. Not really, it's possible maybe there's not a lot of planning that went into this, or someone's just like, oh, I've been there and good luck, or I'm concerned for where this is going to go. Because once we have that experience, then we understand better how to navigate the pitfalls, the obstacles, the detours, but we also have developed some fear because of what we've experienced. And it's the fear that helps to protect us ultimately from entering into situations that could potentially be harmful, especially if that's what we've experienced in the past. With it ending on courtship, it's like even though there's concern possibly from an outside party, there's there's a sweetness here. There's a um, kind of an unfolding that is it's the progression of the journey. Makes me think of my parents' story where they got married and then started dating, started their courtship. So, um, and I think that's true in a lot of ways where you can have been with somebody for years, but once you tie the knot, so to speak, once you actually make it official on paper, the dynamic changes. I've heard this from many people. Once you get married, it changes, and not always in a good way, for whatever reason. But this here feels like being open to and embracing this newness, excited for the journey, enjoying the journey, regardless of concern that you have or somebody else has. It's still going in with that kind of excitement for the new, to see where things go. So it feels really sweet, and it feels very exciting, whatever this journey is. So my calendar. That's right, it's May. I'll do that. I'll do that later. Thank you for the reminder. Um, go with my Osho Zen Tarot. May Day, right? It's May Day, May 1st. All right. Oh, well, we've got stress. The Seven of Fire. Patience, which is the Seven of Rainbows, two sevens. Wow. Experience. Three of Fire. Turning in, Four of Water. And morality. I think this is could be wrong. This might be the Queen of Air. Okay, so this stress is self-inflicted. This is trying to do too much at once, trying to keep too many things in the air, balancing on bubbles, which are going to get popped. There's a need to there's a need to calm down, to chill out. If we're talking about a literal marriage, like preparing for marriage is so incredibly stressful. There's so many things to think about, to plan for, to deal with. This is why so many people get what are they called? Wedding planners. so they can have some of that off their off off their to-do list. However, it, even with that, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to consider, a lot to do. And and then we have patience. I think the patience comes in especially with experience following it. It's like, yeah, there's this stress. Maybe it's about trying to do too much all at once. There's a need to let a situation unfold naturally, slowly. We are currently deep in Mercury retrograde. Um, it makes me think of a thing that a friend just shared with me where somebody's mom texted and said, "Honey, I just heard there's mercury in Gatorade. You should be careful drinking that stuff." So there's mercury in the Gatorade. Yay, Redbeard is here and the sun. Hello, thanks for joining. So it's like the energy during this time is all about like forcing us to slow down. If we don't jump off that bubble, it's gonna get popped. And it's about understanding that everything happens in cycles, that we learn and grow best when we get into the flow of the energy, when we don't try to force things. And this often comes through experience. That's why concern happens, because once we've been through it, we're like, oh, I understand now how to avoid certain situations. But that fear can also cause problems itself, because every situation is different. You can't apply the last situation to this situation necessarily, because it's sort of, it's learning to, like I said, let things unfold, and try to, as much as possible, be in the flow of things. And if things get diverted, schedules change, delays happen, these are all qualities of mercury in the Gatorade. um, it's meant to help the growth, to it's a time of slowing down, going within, allowing something to grow. It's a part of the journey. We gain experience through, that's a part of the experience too, is learning to just, when we feel ourselves getting all frantic and crazy, to just be like, okay, okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And stopping to hug a tree. um, and there's something here about understanding that our environment is a reflection of ourselves, and we ultimately have the power to change that, even if it feels like we don't. We put these expectations and limitations upon ourselves, and it's like, okay, you can choose to jump off the bubble, because if you don't, it it'll get popped eventually. So then with turning in, here we are, just kind of like, okay, we have all these voices saying, don't stop what you're doing. You have to finish what you started. You have to do all the things, expectations, rah, 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 all the voices. And it's like, oh, you know what? There's like so much peace and calm here, going within, meditating, praying, communing with, you know, with yourself and what you know is right for you. Which is all it's a part of that needing to nurture the self. And others don't always have your best interest in mind. That's why you have to take look out for number one. um, you when you're tuned in to yourself, it's easiest to know what's best for yourself and to be able to say, okay, other people, other voices, um, I'm going to take care of myself and I'll get back to you. And I feel like this is a voice. This is a voice that could be in your head. This could be somebody who's trying to give you advice about what you need to do, how you need to do it. Um, it's very strict. It's a very strict energy. It's very closed off. You see this being has no eyes, or the eyes are completely covered. It's like there's a need to be a little more fluid in terms of like some people feel like because they made a commitment, they made a vow to do something to complete it, that they have to do that at all cost. And life isn't quite it doesn't quite work that way. Life is messy. Sometimes we make a commitment or a vow or something, and we other things happen, and it's out of our control, and we can do is try to apologize, change our recommit in a new way. um and it all comes back to this feeling of going with the flow, tuning in to ourselves. Okay, so let me go with I'm going to go with the good tarot, I think. Yeah, good tarot. Linda is here. Hello, thanks so much for joining. Everyone, send Jojo some healing energy. He's in pain right now. All right, so we've got the 10 of air. Tens are about closing out a cycle. 10 reduces to a 1, which is about new beginnings. It's grace. This card in particular is graceful endings that lead to new beginnings. And the world, yeah, the world is also the end of a cycle. The world can be about travel, about movement, about relocating, about a journey, be, beginning a new journey. And the ace of air. There's our new beginning. Yes. 10 of earth. Wow. Okay. And the 8 of earth. Wow. This is huge and beautiful. It's like something is needing to end or is in the process of ending, has ended. And this is an energy of, rather than hanging on and kind of resisting the ending, railing against it, is understanding that something needs to end in order for something new to begin. Same with this card. It's very much it's a graduating to the next level. What's the each of the major arcana in this deck have a specific word. What is the word for the world? Perspective. Interesting. Yeah, it's gaining a new perspective on a situation. Oh, and I never noticed, but there's a little keyhole up here. It's like it's about unlocking new worlds. That perspective change, perspective shift is it's bringing you to a new energy of understanding, of clarity and truth, and yeah, being open to something new. I'm gonna look in my book at this one. I have forgotten what it says in this book about this card. Destiny and fate. The law of karma. Powerful forces of transformation at work. Synchronicity. Yeah, it's like as you gracefully close out a cycle, as you potentially go on this journey that could be literal, you could be actually going somewhere else. It's like the synchronicities just increase and build. You're it's a unlocking unlocking something within you that's allowing it a huge transformation, or is going to. Where's oh there. And what it's leading to is success and prosperity, wish fulfillment. And especially in this deck, this card it's a card of self-mastery. Whoa. I don't know if you heard that. There was a little ding, a confirmation ding. Um and I feel like that's a huge part of what all this is speaking to. Learning to understand the cycles of the world around you and ultimately of yourself, understanding the connection between your inner and your outer world, and transforming wherever you were feeling rigid, stuck, feeling like you needed to be a certain way, kind of feeling tossed around by the voices, by other people's standards. This is you. Somehow this transformation is bringing you created this epiphany, or is going to, that's leading to this amazing outcome. And with the Eight of Earth, it's like it's about momentum. It's about knowing that to get what you want, to continue to be prosperous and successful, it all comes back to your own actions and how you show up in the world. You get back what you put in. And this is, these energies are very physical, very tangible, but it all starts within. We have the thought first. We have the thought creates the intention, or it allows the space to create the intention. And from the intention, then we can move into action. And through our action, then we are able to manifest what we want. And this is you understanding that it's about taking action, doing what you love, putting your energy into something that's fulfilling. With I don't know what that is. Cello, violin, kind of violin like, isn't it? Bass. whatever stringed instrument that is. Little fairies flying around. It's like there's growth and magic that comes out of putting effort into something that is fulfilling. That it's a soul calling. It's one of those things that you do just because you love it. And I don't know, maybe you're coming to this place where you're successful and prosperous enough that you're able to really dive into something that you truly love and enjoy. Cello. Could be, I know. Who knows? Who knows what that is? Anyway, yeah, this new beginning. It's and so with these first cards that I chose, it's all about this progression. This concern really aligns with the morality card. Whatever this is, that concern, it's there. You can't do anything about it except to tune it out. Because there's something new that's beginning. There some something that you're doing now that leads to a journey. The child speaks of a new beginning, and it's like this is the progression from that new to like, okay, here we go. We're on track. I don't know. It's pretty amazing, honestly. Um, Let me pick some animal cards. It's not a banjo. That is correct. Beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. Yeah. That solid foundation starts within. Everything starts within. That turning in the four, that four of water, it's about tuning into your emotions. And from there, you can figure out what actions to take to really lay that foundation, to take the action. Ant spirit, time to collaborate. Yeah, see? I mean, this whole merger thing, we start with the merger, we end with the merger. There's collaboration here. Oh, and it's a number one, which, speaks to this ace of air, this new beginning. Laying a solid foundation with somebody else. It could be a group of people. Or again, it could be like merging businesses or merging ideas. Scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. It's so interesting that sometimes the numbers jump out at me. This is number 52, which reduces to a 7. 6 and 1 reduced to a 7. We started, or I don't know, didn't start, but we had the 2 sevens here. It's interesting how laying a solid foundation and collaborating kind of match the stress card. And the 7 of rainbows is like the colors kind of align with what's going on around her. It's like do the things, take the action, build the foundation, but then also allow the space for the magic to infuse into the situation. It's magic, like, how a baby grows inside a woman's body is magical. Like, our bodies are magical when you really get down to it, when you look at things not just on a biological level, like, you get down to, the smallest, particles. I mean, it comes down to energy, really. It is all very magical. Quantum physics, quantum mechanics, all that quantum stuff is it's mind-blowing when you really think about it. So, there's doing the things and being very practical and collaborating and getting your ideas together, and then there's the going with the flow with the energy. So, I think I'm gonna leave it there. That was really good. um, enjoy your week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.